Remember that first paycheck you ever got? That exciting moment when you saw money hit your account? Now imagine getting that same feeling every single month, except this time, you didn't work for it at all. That's exactly what happened to Michael, who started with just $250 a month, less than what most people spend on takeout. Today, his investments pay him $5,000 every month while he sleeps, while he travels, while he lives his life. Sounds too good to be true, right? That's what Michael thought too, until he discovered something Warren Buffett has been quietly doing for decades. It's not real estate. It's not crypto. It's not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's called the Dividend Snowball Effect, a specific way of stacking dividend-paying stocks that creates a money multiplication effect. Think of it like having a money printer that's completely legal and gets faster over time. Start it with a $250 investment, and within a year, it's printing $1,000 monthly. In 5 years, $3,000. And in 10 years, well, you saw the numbers in the thumbnail. In this video, I'm going to break down how to use the Dividend Snowball Effect to build your own money printer. I'll reveal the exact stocks and ETFs that power the system and help you make $5,000 per month. And finally, my personal portfolio that could triple these numbers. Let's start with what a dividend snowball is. The dividend snowball effect is what happens when you transform regular dividend payments into an ever-growing money printer. And no one demonstrates this better than Michael. 5 years ago, Michael started with just $250 monthly investments in dividend-paying stocks. His first dividend check? A measly $47. Most people would have laughed at that number, but Michael understood something crucial. He didn't touch that $47. Instead, he used it to buy more dividend-paying shares. That $47 grew to $312 in quarterly dividends by year 2. Year 3, $1,892. Today, his last quarter's dividend payment was $4,827. And he hasn't added a single dollar from his pocket since year 5. This is why it's called the snowball effect. Each dividend payment buys more shares, which bring in bigger dividends, which buy even more shares. Your money literally makes copies of itself. Here's the kicker. Michael's money printer hasn't stopped once in 5 years. Not during market crashes. Not during inflation. Not even during the pandemic. Let me show you exactly how to build this system and potentially earn $5,000 every month. There are just 3 numbers you need to understand. Think of them as the DNA of your money printer. First, there's your dividend yield, the percentage companies pay you from their profits. Then your dividend growth rate, how fast these companies increase their payments. And finally, your share appreciation, how much your original investment grows over time. Here's what most dividend investors get wrong. They chase yields like 12% or 15%, thinking bigger is better. Look what happened to the stock. Huge yield until the company cut its dividend and the stock crashed. Instead, we're going to build your money printer differently. I'll show you how to get a safe 4% dividend yield, 17% yearly dividend growth, and 12% annual share price growth. With these numbers, you have 2 paths to $5,000 monthly. Start with $10,000 and let your money printer run. Or build it with just $250 monthly contributions. Both work. Both are proven. And I'm about to show you exactly how to set up each strategy. Let's start with strategy number 1, the $10,000 power move. Now, $10,000 might sound like a lot, but watch what happens when we plug it into our money printer. Remember those 3 magic numbers? Let's put them to work. A 4% dividend yield means your $10,000 starts generating $400 yearly. But here's where it gets interesting. Those dividends grow 17% every year. Plus, your original $10,000 grows by 12% annually. Let me show you exactly how this compounds. Year 1, your $10,000 grows to $11,200, and you're getting $400 in dividends. Year 5, your investment hits $32,000, pumping out $1,900 in yearly dividends. Year 10, now you're at $89,000, with $5,300 coming in annually. Year 20, this is where the magic happens. $312,000 with $18,700 in yearly dividends. And in year 30, your original $10,000 transforms into $1.5 million, generating over $11,500 in monthly dividends. That's more than double our $5,000 target. But here's the best part. You haven't added a single dollar since your initial $10,000. Your money printer did all the work. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have $10,000 to start with. Don't worry. That's exactly why we have strategy number 2, starting with just $250 monthly. Let me show you how powerful this gets. Year 1, you've invested $2,400 total. Your monthly dividends? Small, about $8. But watch this. Year 5, you've put in $12,000 total, but your portfolio is worth $15,600. Your monthly dividends hit $75. Still small, but it's building. Year 10, now it gets interesting. Total invested, $24,000. Portfolio value, $56,700. Monthly dividends, $380. Year 20. This is where your money printer kicks into high gear. Total invested, $48,000. Portfolio value, $316,500. Monthly dividends, $2,100. And by year 30, your $72,000 total investment explodes into $2.2 million, generating over $17,300 in monthly dividends. That's more than triple our $5,000 target. Look at those numbers again. You put in $72,000 total, and it turned into $2.2 million. How? Because while you were consistently feeding your money printer with $250 monthly, it was working overtime, multiplying your investment through dividends, dividend growth, and share appreciation. But before you rush to start building either strategy, there's something critical you need to know. Any stock paying more than 7% in dividends is waving a red flag. These companies are basically putting up a going out of business sign. That's why our portfolio will focus on something much more powerful: dividend growth. Now, let me show you how to build a portfolio with actual stocks that last. You see, we're not just going to pick random dividend stocks. Instead, we're going to build what I call a triple-powered portfolio. Think of it like upgrading your money printer with 3 different engines, each one making it run faster and more reliably. These 3 engines are Dividend Kings, companies that have increased their dividends for 50-plus years straight. Power ETFs, baskets of top dividend stocks that spread your risk. Elite REITs, real estate companies legally required to pay out 90% of their profits as dividends. When you combine all 3, something remarkable happens. Your portfolio becomes virtually unstoppable. Let me show you exactly what goes into each part. Let's start with your portfolio's first engine, Dividend Kings. And I'll tell you right now, these aren't exciting stocks. They're boring, reliable companies that have been paying increasing dividends for over 50 years. First up, Cintas Corporation. They do something incredibly boring: provide uniforms to businesses. But check this out. Started paying dividends when JFK was president. Has raised dividends by 21.5% yearly. Their stock? Up 27% per year for the last decade. Next, Abbott Laboratories. They've been making medical devices since your grandfather was young. Their numbers? 50-plus years of dividend increases. 13% dividend growth rate. Stock up 15% annually. Finally, Bank of America. Everyone knows them, but here's what they don't know. Consistent dividend growth since 1903. 18% annual dividend increases. Rock solid financials. When you combine these 3, you get an average 1.78% starting dividend yield, 23.44% dividend growth rate, 15.67% share price growth. But remember, this is just engine 1. Let me show you how much more powerful this gets with engine 2. Now let's add your second engine, Power ETFs. Think of these as pre-built collections of dividend stocks. But we're not picking just any ETFs. We're choosing the absolute cream of the crop. Let me show you my top 3. First, Vanguard Information Technology ETF. Why this one? Packed with tech giants that are becoming dividend powerhouses, growing dividends faster than any other sector. 16% average annual returns. Second, Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. Check this out. Only picks companies with 10-plus years of rising dividends. Rock solid 3.5% yield. Survived every market crash since inception. Third, Vanguard Midcap ETF. Here's why it's special. Catches companies right as they're entering their growth phase. Historically outperformed large-cap stocks. Perfect balance of growth and safety. Together, these ETFs give you 1.87% starting yield, 12.58% dividend growth rate, 11.54% annual returns. But we're not done yet. Let me show you how the third engine turns this into an absolute money printing machine. Now for your third engine, Elite REITs. Remember, these are companies legally required to pay you 90% of their profits as dividends. But we're not picking just any REITs. We're choosing the absolute kings of real estate. First up, American Tower Corporation. Owns cell towers worldwide. Every time you use your phone, they make money. 18.83% dividend growth rate. Next, CubeSmart. Self-storage empire. Recession-proof business model. Doubled dividends in the last 5 years. Finally, Rexford Industrial. Owns premium industrial real estate. 98% occupancy rate. 25% annual dividend growth. When you combine these REITs, you get 3.91% starting yield, 16.99% dividend growth, 9.81% annual price growth. When you mix Dividend Kings, Power ETFs, and Elite REITs in one portfolio, here's what you get. 2.52% starting yield, safe and sustainable. 17.67% dividend growth, faster than 90% of stocks. 12.34% share price growth, beating the market. Now, remember our 2 strategies? Watch how they perform with this turbocharged portfolio. Strategy number 1, the $10,000 power move. Year 1, $11,486 total, generating $400 yearly. Year 10, $42,456 total, now paying $2,800 yearly. Year 20, $217,450 total, pumping out $12,000 yearly. Year 30, $1.5 million, generating $11,585 monthly. Strategy number 2, the $250 monthly builder. Year 1, total invested $3,000. Portfolio value $3,180. Monthly dividends $12. Year 10, total invested $30,000. Portfolio value $70,859. Monthly dividends $475. Year 20, total invested $60,000. Portfolio value $395,604. Monthly dividends $2,625. Year 30, total invested $90,000. Portfolio value $2.8 million. Monthly dividends $21,714. Look at that progression. From $12 to $21,714 in monthly dividends. And remember, you're only investing $250 each month. That's the power of combining all 3 portfolio engines together.